Welcome back to Never Settle. Today I have the CEO and founder of Asutra, Stephanie Morimoto. Thanks for your time to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me.
You have a wealth, literally, of information that can be shared from your company, Asutra, but also in this podcast, because what we're talking about today, oftentimes we'll think, wellness, I have to make time for, I need to budget for it, but you and your company are making it accessible to everybody because wellness is a necessity, not the luxury. How are you planning to do, or how are you doing so?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Asutra, our mission is what we call active self-care. We help you take care of yourself on purpose so you can take on anything. And we really look at accessibility through a few different lenses. One, we don't think it should cost you an arm and a leg to use great ingredients to care for yourself well, whether that's for pain relief or a better night's sleep or rebooting your mood. So we do our best to find the best ingredients, the best formulations that really work and offer them at accessible prices. Our price points are $9 to $24 for the most part. And we use organic and natural formulations everywhere we can. And then the second way we look at it is through distribution. We want you to be able to find Asutra wherever you like to shop, whether that's on our website, whether that's on Amazon, or whether that's at Target and CVS.
Before we get into today's episode, I want to first give a thank you and shout out to Zencaster, our sponsor of today's show. Zencaster is the chosen platform that I'm hosting this podcast on, which has made it easy for me to host this podcast from anywhere in the world and takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Stay tuned for more in today's episode. So I'm curious because if I were listening, I would think, yes, well, of course I want to live healthily and well. But why are your products accessible in a price range that is affordable, yet other companies are, they can be using the same ingredients, let's face it, but yet their profit margin, perhaps. Maybe I'm hinting at what the answer is, but what makes those companies more expensive if it's more... Is it something behind the scenes, maybe what I'm hinting at?
Yeah, I think for us, if you look at our products, we don't have super fancy packaging. We don't have a ton of overhead. We're a small woman-owned business with a really lean team. And that's because we pour every resource we can into making the best products possible and reaching the audience that we think is really excited to try alternatives to what might be out there. So let's take our popular magnesium line as an example. Magnesium is really great for you. It is the fourth most abundant mineral in your body. It's critical for healthy body processes, from muscle repair and recovery to helping to relieve muscle cramps to creating a sense of calm and helping you sleep better at night. Well, there are some people out there who say, I don't want to pop another Advil or another sleeping pill or take another melatonin gummy. I want some alternative that relieves the pain that I feel sitting at a computer all day or carrying my kids around all day, or helps me unwind at night, when I've had a stressful day, but also helps me with my overall wellness. And that's really what we're setting out to provide is, again, ingredients and formulations that work for that particular need you have. A crick in your neck, not being able to calm down at bedtime, but that also create an ongoing sense of wellness for you, which is exactly what that magnesium does, or lavender essential oil, which we use in a lot of our products as well. And we want to make that, as we talked about before, accessible in terms of pricing and where you can buy it. I don't think there are any other companies or brands out there that are really trying to do both, right? It's more about buy a 30-day supply of ibuprofen, buy a 30-day supply of melatonin gummies, and then you have to keep coming back as well to buy those, take those every day, but it's not actually fixing the underlying issue. And so I would say that's kind of the final thing for us in terms of accessibility. We don't want you to have to pay an arm and a leg for great ingredients. We want you to be able to find us anywhere, but we also want you to be able to access ingredients and formulations that, again, not only help with the particular issue you're facing in the here and now, but also really help you address your overall wellness for the long term, because that's really what's going to help you over time.
That's where I really wanted to drive that message home to listeners, is that you're getting the quality without having to pay for the extra fluff. because it's natural ingredients, and
Yep,
you're becoming the therapist who wants to heal their patients and not have them keep coming back just to pay their, their overhead bill for their expensive fancy office. You're like, we want to heal
exactly.
you. It's personal empowerment. So I applaud that.
Yes.
You touched on, and you have a really great resource for a downloadable ebook on magnesium on your website, which we'll link to the website and everything below in the description. But we think of magnesium as, what do we think of magnesium and why do we need it? Because it's not, we know vitamin C, we know our potassium, but what's the point and purpose of magnesium? I know that there's a major deficiency and it has a lot of health benefits, but it's not the more common um, best friend for a lot of healing ailments.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm so glad you're asking about magnesium. Magnesium is what I think of as this magic mineral, honestly. Again, it's the fourth most abundant mineral in your body, and yet 2 in 3 of us are deficient in magnesium. So I was listening to a podcast by a brain doctor the other day, and he said, look, I don't recommend a lot of supplements. The one thing I think everybody should supplement is magnesium. We used to get it through our food. It was present in the soil, it was present in our water. And so we would get enough of it by just consuming a healthy diet. And you can still get a lot of magnesium through eating things like dark leafy greens, beans, quinoa, nuts, seeds, which are important parts of a really healthy and balanced diet. But not all of us get as much of those foods as we may like, and magnesium is not as present in all of those nutritious foods as it was before. So that's the reason that we need to supplement. You can take it as a pill. Some people experience stomach upset if they take it in pill form. So the other way to get it into your system is through your skin. Your skin, as everybody knows, is your biggest organ in your body, and it absorbs things for good or bad. In this case, it can absorb magnesium into your bloodstream, which is a good thing.
Good.
So you can, yes, good, check. So you can take a bath in it, right? Epsom salts, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride are magnesium baths. You can spray it onto your skin. We have a magnesium oil spray, super simple, water and magnesium chloride. And you can use it in lotion form, which we have a whole variety of for different purposes. So it's a really, really important thing for overall wellness. Like I said before, it can help with acute pain issues. Say you've got a sore hamstring after working out, or tight shoulders after sitting at the computer, or maybe you have a condition like fibromyalgia or arthritis where you get muscle cramps. The topical magnesium can actually help with all of those, but it also helps with things like muscle recovery and repair after exercising or movement. And it can help make you feel calmer, which is obviously great for dealing with stress throughout the day, but also winding down before bedtime.
Before sleep. So that's leads into a question I was going to ask you as well. Does the body absorb it the same in the gut as it does in the skin? I understand that there's a benefit because of course, if you're getting nauseous and you take a pill, that doesn't help you at all. You're going to be like, that's not calming me. That's actually doing quite the opposite. How does that differ between the two?
Yeah, so based on the research I've seen, when you use it topically or on your skin, it can actually absorb into your bloodstream faster throughout your whole body. It's also
Interesting.
great for targeted, I should say, targeted pain relief. So I love to spray our magnesium oil on my neck and
Mhm.
shoulders here, which tend to get tight, or my lower back from sitting at a computer all day. We also have some lotions that combine magnesium with other active ingredients like cooling menthol or warming capsaicin, which is derived from chili peppers. Both menthol and capsaicin also help provide targeted pain relief for post workout, or again, if you've got chronic pain or other pain issues. Um, when you take it as a pill or a liquid supplement, it actually has to pass through your digestive tract before it then releases into your bloodstream. So it can also be a more delayed effect when you take it orally.
Interesting. I think we originally connected. I came across your product when I was at a wellness fair, pre-COVID in New York, and I was using one of your sprays on my shoulder.
Oh,
Exactly, it
nice.
was like one of the connectors um, from the neck to the shoulder. What I want to point out for listeners as well is every ingredient that you're mentioning, it's understandable. It's like when you look at the product listings for most things, even foods too, you're like, I have no idea what this is, but how does it smell? Does it work? I have no idea. Or, lately it'll just have a organic like label slapped to it, but you
Mhm.
are naming things that are recognizable, which is so important. How does somebody recognize that they are magnesium deficient?
You might experience a host of things. Perhaps you're just feeling a little more fatigued than normal, or you're getting leg cramps. That's a common symptom of a magnesium deficiency. Those could show up as leg cramps when you're walking around or sitting at your desk or on the sofa. They could also show up as restless legs at night, right? Where you feel that funny sensation crawling up your legs or your feet start cramping when you're lying in bed. If you find it hard, if you're an athlete or somebody who likes to work out a lot like me, you might find, gosh, it's really hard to recover and get back at it the next day or a couple days after. So, those are some common symptoms that you might experience.
Let me take a little break here. You've noticed I've been doing a lot more podcasting lately. And it's not that I've had more time, it's that Zencaster has made it a lot easier to record high quality video, high quality audio. They even have post production services right within their platform and software. It comes out a lot easier, faster, cleaner, so I can do what it is that I'm really good at, and that's connecting with you, the listener, and the audience who wants to chime in what it is to never settle. So this leads me into my next question. What have you personally embodied as a wellness routine to infuse into Asutra, or what has Asutra inspired you to incorporate into your daily wellness routine?
My number one answer to wellness routines is sleep. It is so, so important. And I think sometimes easier said than done, but it's just critical for so many things. I was reading a study by Harvard Business Review about how you're a better leader after getting enough sleep because you're more patient, you're more able to deal with challenges. You can also be more creative because your mind, body, and soul are rested. So I think sleep is really, really important. Related to sleep, and also for so many other health benefits, is movement. Getting some kind of movement in as many times a week as you can, I think, is really critical, especially now when more of us are working from home and not going as many places due to COVID. The lack of stimulation, the lack of interaction can actually make it harder for you to wind down and go to sleep. So get out for a walk, or do something in your apartment or in your living room, whether it's yoga or some other sort of exercise, to really get that movement in and the blood flowing.
It's interesting because oftentimes we'll think, oh, I'm really tired. Should I pass on the workout? But you're saying it's actually the opposite. And there's even more motivation to get moving or do something. And then, the idea of getting a better night's sleep as well, and how that just it can fuel so many different because similarly I've been working on that personally as well, and the impact that I have the next day to be able to
Mm.
focus, to be able to make decisions, to be able to be more balanced in the operations of what I'm doing. I'm more efficient, I think would be the better way to put it. And part of that has been by increasing the magnesium and setting an evening routine that I can use as well. So what is your daily routine, would you say, that helps?
Yeah, I think for sleep, a few things. One, get up at the same time every morning, even on the weekend. I know that can be hard, but by getting up at the same time every day, you start to get tired at the same time every night. So it's easier to go to bed. A lot of people will say go to bed at the same time every night, but if that's something that you already struggle with, I find that can be harder than setting your alarm and actually just like forcing yourself to get out of bed at that same time every day. As I said before, movement, whether it's a 20-minute walk or an hour-long workout, get some kind of movement in. That will also help you calm down at night and get a better night's sleep. I do love that you said magnesium. Magnesium is definitely part of my daily routine. Right now, I'm doing 30 sprays of magnesium oil a day, which can sound like kind of a lot, but it actually gives you, from our magnesium oil at Asutra, the amount of magnesium you need as an adult woman. So I do 15 sprays in the morning after my workout, for 15 sprays at night before bed, and it's super easy. I do 5 sprays on my neck, 5 sprays on my lower back. And then if my legs are sore or my arms are sore, I'll do the remaining 5 sprays there. Again, 15 in the morning, 15 at night. Or if you're a bath person, I love to take a magnesium bath. We have these wonderful, luxurious magnesium flakes that I combine with another bath salt we have that has lavender and cedarwood essential oils for a nighttime bath ritual that's really relaxing.
Sounds like a nice routine and relaxation as well to massage it in. And what would you say as a female founder? One of the greatest challenges you've faced and maybe have overcome or are working on overcoming?
Yeah, I think that could be a
The deep
whole
breath because we're all like,
yeah,
yeah.
that could be like a whole nother conversation, I feel like. Um, I honestly will say I do feel extremely fortunate that as a woman in this industry, I haven't felt like I've faced particular challenges just because I'm a woman in a wellness brand, right? If anything, I think people love the fact that we're women owned, women of color owned. We serve a lot of women customers. Our leadership team is mostly women. So we have really leaned into that and celebrated the fact that we are a team of women who are also serving other women, right? We're really lucky to have an incredible woman as part of Team Asutra, the global tennis champion, Venus Williams, who was using our pain relief products as part of her training regimen and actually called us to ask if she could be a part of Team Asutra and help us grow our brand and our
Wow.
business. So, if anything, I would say I feel really lucky to have an incredible team of women that is working on Asutra and that is supporting Asutra as customers. I think as a founder in general, there's myriad challenges obviously with building a small business and an emerging brand that is not yet a household name. I think our biggest challenge, of course, is just getting the word out there, making sure more people know about Asutra. So that's really our big focus this year is, to what you alluded to earlier, how do we not only get products out there that work, how can we also get education and content out there that really helps people incorporate routines into their day that help them feel better and stay well? And that's another big part of our commitment to accessibility. Like I said earlier in our conversation, it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to take care of yourself well. It also shouldn't take you hours to incorporate wellness routines into your day. Even one good thing is important. And so that's a big focus that we'll have this year is do one thing. If you're struggling with one thing, maybe it's sleep, maybe it's getting more movement in, maybe it's drinking more water. Just focus on that one thing, do it for at least a month, which they say makes it a habit. And then maybe you can add another one thing, but don't feel like you have to take it all on at the same time.
Great tip and takeaway. And I think that's where I want to close because that's so strong. One thing a day, add to your well being. We call it wealth, the ROI, fill that bucket. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here, sharing the insights. I am definitely going to pull the magnesium out tonight and put it on my counter before I go into bed. And actually, I have the spray that you had sent to me. It's going to be going on my shoulders shortly after.
Nice.
So thank you. We're going to link all of your company info, the products below in the description, and truly thank you for the inspiration. May we all sleep better tonight, hopefully, after hearing this message. That wraps up today's episode of Never Settle. I want to thank you for tuning in. And again, a big thank you to Zencaster. If you'd like to try Zencaster and podcasting, you can use my code, which is linked below, for a 3-month discount on your service. See you again on another upcoming episode of Never Settle.